So for our next talk, we're going to talk about generative empowering content creation with GenAI techniques. And I would like to welcome Zawei Shen to the stage.
Hi, everyone. I'm Xiaohui from the Intelligent Creation Vision and Graphics team. So I guess most of you have heard the word generative AI, right? So there's a lot of development, evolutions of those GenAI techniques, especially in the past 2 years, like especially those kind of emergence of those large foundation models, like large language models, text-to-image, and text-to-video models. So it really makes the content creation tools more and more powerful. So today I would like to present some of our efforts in leveraging those GenAI techniques to empower the content creation of TikTok users. So as you all probably know, TikTok is a content and user platform. So on one hand, our users can watch and discover the content they are interested in through search and recommendation. On the other hand, a lot of our users also have the desire to share their stories and express themselves every day. So it's really important to make the content creation tools more and more intelligent so that they can create the content they want without the need of learning those very sophisticated content creation professional skills. So we have been working in this area for a long while, actually long before the emergence of those large generative models. So how do those kind of visual intelligence techniques can help content creation exactly? So first, it can make the content creation barrier lower and lower. So we developed those technologies to understand what are in the images and the videos, and then make the creation tools more and more smarter and smarter based on understanding of those content. So I will show you some examples here. So if you look at the images on the left, so this kind of, you just capture 2D image of a dog, for example. So the images are 2D, right? Probably you all know, but you don't have the 3D information there. But with those kind of visual intelligence techniques, we can estimate, understand the 3D and the depth information from those 2D images. So now when you drag the images, you can get those kind of a 3D effect. Seems like you are viewing from different camera angles. And then you can create those kind of a 3D parallax effect by simply dragging your finger on the images and create a video out of it, right? So this kind of a way to do 3D aware editing using those kind of content understanding techniques. So in the example in the middle, actually this is also a very common need, right? So consider you just take videos on the right, which is kind of a horizontal view, which is very common when you record those videos. But you want to convert that videos to vertical ones so that you can watch those kind of videos, and there will be a more natural fit to the phone screen, right? So how can you do that? So if you just crop out the region in the middle, then most likely you will lose out a lot of important content. And if you want to do manually, like frame by frame, it's kind of very tedious. And also you probably want to choose, okay, which kind of area I want to keep and how to connect the content of the previous frame to the next one. So with those kind of intelligent techniques, you don't need to worry about that. Basically, we will understand what are the most important content in the video frames and keep those content when we do the cropping. And also, we'll handle the temporal smoothness between those croppings across different frames. So with just one click, we can just automatically convert a horizontal video to a vertical one. And you can just publish in TikTok, for example. So in addition to those kind of standalone individual editing tools, we also develop those kind of one-stop creation solutions. So what does that mean? So in the example on the right, so basically the user can just upload their raw photos and images, and then we can combine different techniques. We understand what's happening in those images and videos, and then trim those videos by understanding and keep the most informative ones, and then add transitions between the different videos and photos, add music, right, and effect, and add a text, for example. And basically, with just one click, we can automatically create a final form of video from those raw materials, and the user can just publish them. So it's kind of a feature called auto cut that you can try in TikTok right now. Okay, so this is one way to use those kind of visual intelligence to make the creation much, much easier. And on the other hand, we can also transform those kind of ordinary daily content to some very creative, novel ones. So here are also some examples here, right? So in the first example, given this kind of video with a kind of a human body in it, we can estimate, understand the human body pose. Basically, we extract the human skeleton information we call from that, frame by frame. And now you can just attach those kind of, for example, virtual wings, head, all those kind of virtual accessories, and stick them to the human body. So it looks like it's kind of we are growing from the body, right? So you can create those kind of very cool, give you some kind of surreal feeling content from those ordinary videos, and you can, and of course, this kind of a very common capabilities. You can create some other cool effect as well. So it's not just for human bodies; it can also for like scenes. So in another feature we call Sky AR. So basically, you can estimate the sky, right? Not only segment out the sky, but also understand the locations, orientations, and then attach those kind of virtual content on the sky. So give you those kind of automated reality look, given those kind of the video you just capture maybe just the outside of the building every day, right? And we can also transform those kind of portrait videos to a more stylized ones. I think Sophie also mentioned that earlier. So basically, you can transform those. So this is kind of more like cartoonish ones, and we can choose some other styles to use as well. So of course, when you create those content, it's not only for like publish those videos and for others to watch, right? It can also be used for social interactions, which is kind of also a very important aspect on TikTok platforms. So in this case, we can leverage those kind of computer vision and graphics techniques to create those virtual characters. And you can either basically you can choose those kind of predefined styles and create the one that you like, or you can also say, I just upload a portrait, a self-images, and we can create virtual avatars automatically for you. And then you can use those kind of created assets for social interactions, like doing those DMs with your friends and get to know more friends as well. Okay, so I talk about those kind of possibilities to use the previously developed vision techniques to help content creation. So now talk about those kind of breakthroughs in GenAI, those kind of large foundation models, those kind of multi-model models, I would say like text-to-image and text-to-video. So how do those breakthroughs can be a further differentiator when we use them in content creation? So here are some three aspects I want to mention. First, we call it asset supply. So the previous technology that we mentioned, that we understand what's happening in the images, right? Or we can transform some videos to some another stylized ones. But previously, it's not possible to create some new images and videos with some other, like from scratch, right? But now we can do that. So these are the images, for example, created by some simple text descriptions. So I want to generate a car, a street scene, right? So and all those kind of give me some kind of cyberpunk look, and also some kind of very unusual assets that probably cannot be captured in the real life. And all those ones can be simply generated by every user. So consider previously when we want to create a story or want to do some content creation, how do you get those assets? You probably want to search from the web and maybe go to some stock photos and buy some assets. And even you cannot find the exact asset that you want to have, right? So now with those kind of general models, you can create anything that you want, not only for those images, but also like logos, stickers, and also some dynamic ones. So this is actually a way to, I would say, revolutionize the content supply part of the creation pipeline. So the second aspect, so I mentioned, okay, so we can transform those ordinary content to novel creative ones. And those kind of large GenAI models actually can make those creativity to the next level. So if you look at those two examples, so if you just upload a body of giraffe and a human head, what will it look like? So this kind of image we can generate using those kind of models. It's kind of, you can get those kind of a combination of those different content. And we talk about stylizations to transform a portrait one to a stylized one, but maybe still look like the same or very similar to the previous input selfie images. But in that example, when you take a selfie, well, it can give you some completely different outlook and outfit and make you look like a king. So that's what we can do with those kind of large language models. And the third aspect, it can also make the workflow much simpler. So we have those AutoCAD features I mentioned, right? So you can create those kind of one-stop creation solutions. But the functionality that we have are actually I would say still kind of basic. Add those kind of music, add those effects. What if you want to have some more advanced features, right? So you want to have more sophisticated editing operation on those input images and videos. So with the development of those large language models, we can understand the intention of our users much better. So you can just describe what you want in some simple language. For example, it does not have to be very specific. So you say, maybe I can just want my videos to look like more professionally captured, right? Or maybe I want the videos to have a more like a chill feeling. And those large language models and the multimodal models can understand what you mean and link those intentions to the actual operations that we want to have. And basically suggest the operations that to you, or maybe even automatically apply those editing operations on your videos and give the final result to you. So with those kind of more natural and simpler interactions, it will make the content creation much easier to get this workflow much simpler. Okay, so I talked about those kind of three aspects of possibilities. So now let's look at what kind of application we actually did or we are doing in TikTok content creation. So actually, I think we explore those kind of text-to-image and image-to-image models quite early. So actually, in 2022, we tested some simple text-to-image models in TikTok. At that time, I think the capability is not that mature. So the kind of realism, the quality of the generated images from those texts are not nowhere near the level of the current status yet. But still, we can tune those models to generate those kind of more artistic looks or those kind of drawings or those kind of abstract images from the text input. And then it turns out the users can use those kind of functionalities in many creative ways for them to express themselves or relate those content to their kind of current status. And I will show you some examples here. So for example, in the first example, the user write something like depression leaving my brain, and we will see what kind of images we generate. Holding me back, this gravity's holding me back. I want you to hold out the palm in your hand. Why don't we leave it the same as it was? So basically, it generates this kind of images with kind of warm and bright kind of feelings and give the user something to look into in the future. And the second one is kind of a more fun example. Holding me back, this gravity's holding me back. I want you to hold out the palm in your hand. Why don't we leave it the same as it was? Yeah, so you can look at the input. So I would say it's kind of get kind of the feeling of Harry Styles, but it's kind of abstract, so hopefully he won't be that unhappy. So we're trying to fight us. But you can see that user can play with that and get kind of very interesting content out of it, right? So this kind of very simple basic function of text to image. And in the next two examples, it's more like image to image. So the user can upload an image and write something, and we can transform those images to something abstract, but still very interesting. I think I like when it rains. Let me first close the second one. Yeah, so
I think I like when it rains. You told me to go.
yeah, so the user can just upload a wedding photo, for example, right, and a photo with couples, and we transform the images to more like natural drawings with kind of sky and a mountain, and give you kind of very kind of romantic meanings. And you can see the user really like it, and it became a trend in TikTok. So in the next one, well, eyes are the window of a soul, right? So the user can just upload the image with an eye, and let's look at how it can transform to. Sorry. Let me see how to control it. Well, I guess that's the soul of the user. So you can see that the function is kind of simple, but well, there's a lot of ways the user can play with. Okay, so now moving towards the more recent development. So I mentioned stylization earlier, that we can transform those images to those kind of cartoonish ones. But right now, with those kind of larger models, the stylization actually can be much on point and also very more accessible to our everyday users. So for example, you can see this example, the image on the right. Well, so I will say, I just want the image to look like from The Simpsons. And it can give you a stylized image like that. So just transform the image to an image seems kind of captured by those kind of simple cartoons. So you can see that stylizing can become much easier, and every user can describe something and describe either styles or from some reference scenes. We can transform those images to the exact style that you want. And because of that, now we can integrate those stylization capabilities to, say, for example, effect house that Sophie just introduced, and become a tool that can be used by not only the designers, but also a lot of more common users. And it can also be integrated into templates and shared among all those users. And basically, you can just apply any kind of a stylized template in your video and create the one that you like. For templates, if you want to know more, there's also a talk later in this session, which Long will talk about. And this is also, I would say, very cool feature that we just experimented. It's called AI Self. Basically, you can consider this kind of camera to take selfie images for you. And you can imagine that you can have any kind of outfit and it can be on any kind of scenes. But instead of you capture with the camera, it's kind of generated from your descriptions that you provide. So what you can do is just provide a very simple selfie images, which is on you can see on the first screenshot, and then you can just write anything, right? So I want, for example, I want to have a jacket and hat, and we can generate an image like that, and with you inside the images. And it can also be more wild, right? So as you can see, I want to be in Paris and in front of Eiffel Tower. We can do that. You don't need to go to Paris actually, right? Or you can say, I want to go to the moon, and say I want to ride a horse on the moon with kind of astronaut outfit. We can also do that. So basically, it can create a world, imaginative world of yourself, and with all those kind of simple text prompts. And let's say that you don't know what kind of thing you want to write about, and you don't have idea what kind of thing you want to create. It's okay. We can also have those kind of predefined styles, predefined outfits for you to choose, like in the second screenshot. Or maybe when you browse those kind of self videos, and you like some things that are created by other users, and you can also reuse that and do some modifications. Say, when I look at those outfits, I like that, but I want to change the background. So you can just change the word describing the background and create your own self photos. So it's really a way that it can create your own things and can also be propagated through those imitation paths and shared among all those kind of content ecosystem in our TikTok platform. So for those technologies, as I mentioned, it's not only for publishing, right? So it can also be used in a social scenario. So the creation flow actually is very similar in the social avatar feature. So the user can just capture a selfie photo, and we can create those kind of virtual characters for the user with just one single selfie photo. And in this case, the avatars created are more like cartoonish, but you can see it's kind of still looking very similar to the user input. And then you can, for example, set up an avatar based on those creations as their profiles. Or we also create a lot of those kind of stickers with different expressions and even some dynamic motions for you. And you can use those stickers in your direct messaging and interact with your friends. For example, in this one, or you can say hi to your friend, but with your own created social avatar. Okay, so these are those kind of features we already launched or experimented in TikTok. And of course, there's also a lot of other technologies we are developing behind the door. So I just want to show one example here. So I mentioned like those creation of virtual avatars. And at that time, the avatar created are more like static images. And what if we want to animate them? So we can, for example, these two input, right? So we can generate those kind of more like dynamic motions. You can see it's kind of very, kind of captures the expression very well, right? And it's not only for the avatars. Maybe we can also make the a figure in the historical painting to do those kind of dancing animations. And this actually, I would say, the technology is kind of in a state can be used in many scenarios. And we present this work in the SIGGRAPH conference this year. It's not, right now it's not in the TikTok product yet, but hopefully it can be used by all of you and other TikTok users in the future very soon. Okay, so a lot of possibilities and a lot of applications, but still, I think with the breakthrough of those GenAI techniques, I believe it's just the beginning, and there will be more and more disruptive technologies coming out. And there are some directions I would imagine will happen very soon and happen very, very fast. So the first thing I would say, video generation probably will have more and more breakthroughs this year and beyond. So you can already see there's a lot of text-to-video work coming out in the market, like Sora from OpenAI and some others. And of course, we also have some in-house techniques being developed. And with those kind of technologies, we can generate videos with higher fidelity and longer durations from 5 seconds, 10 seconds to 1 minute and beyond. And also the content can also be quite diverse. It can be some realistic video clips. Probably you won't tell, cannot tell it is kind of generated or not, or some more like stylized ones, more kind of on-target effects that can be better integrated into our effect and other content ecosystem. So with those kind of capabilities, the asset supply, the content creation workflow can be changed dramatically as well. So for the other directions, so I mentioned that the workflow can be more and more simple, right? So with those AI capabilities. And I would say those capabilities can be more and more integrated into the whole creation flow from the start to the finish. So from ideation, so when you think about some kind of a storyline that you want to create, those kind of large language models can help you to shape the story that you want to have and help you to create a script. And based on script, we can also help you to design the characters you want to have in those videos. And of course, also it can help you do the content creation and editing. And it's not only for visual, it's also for multi-modal, right? So add those kind of sound effect and with the music. So the entire workflow will be AI empowered. And think about that. So basically, all those kind of professional photos can be created by you, right? So in the end, I would say all those GenAI techniques, the purpose is not trying to replace human in the content creation. It's rather to empower everyone to create the content that probably cannot be, previously cannot be created without learning all those kind of Adobe Premiere, all those kind of sophisticated softwares. So our mission is that, okay, every TikTok users can be a professional creators without the need of learning all those things. And all those kind of tools can help you. And we are here to help you to achieve that goal. So that's it. Yeah, thank you.